Good afternoon and welcome to another inspirational story from Dr. Anna from my book, Practical Spirituality, How to Find Spirit in Everyday Life. These are stories of my life and they always have a little spiritual twist somewhere, so attention. This one is called Giving and Receiving. Where is the balance? Our society is based on sharing and or exchanging jobs, tasks, love, friendship, attention, money. Our families and friendships are like micro-societies. We repeat the patterns of the bigger clan or larger society around us and create a structure and a hierarchy where all the members are organized according to authority, power, position, personality, resources, skills. I'm not going to talk here about men's and women's different roles. Women the nurturers, men the hunters. I'm not going to talk about this kind of conversation. I do not believe in stereotypes because each person is an individual and creates his or her relationships accordingly, whether they are the general trend or a completely different one. For the purpose of this story, I want to focus on the human being, whether he or she is old or young or male or female. I am talking here about giving and receiving at soul level, not just the physical action of, for example, bringing money home to sustain a family. Over the years of studying this issue, I have come to the conclusion that people feel more comfortable giving than receiving. We ask for things, it's nice to get them. I would like to consider the notion of the human deep need for giving and receiving in order to validate our inner being. Because giving makes you powerful. Giving puts you in a position where you have demonstrated to the other person that you are magnanimous, that you have resources, that you have spare of something, that you are a manifestor, that you can create it. This is a very powerful position to be in. But receiving, on the other hand, is a humbling thing. Receiving implies that you are taking from another, that you are at the receiving end, that you are the passive party, and that to receive, you need to open your heart and accept whatever gift or thing is being given to you, regardless of whether it is something you like or not. The point is that someone was thinking of you, and this alone is a very humbling and honoring feeling. To receive the love of another through the manifestation of a gift requires the capacity for gratitude, which is a truly remarkable show of the expansiveness of the heart. So receiving something from someone should never be taken for granted. However, a situation arises when a who is used to giving, who either puts himself in a position of being able to give, or simply gets hooked on giving, because it becomes a manipulative skill, this can actually do more harm than good if he or she will not make the time and space for the other person to whom he has given to return the gift. Because everything about giving and receiving needs to be balanced. If there is giving, there must be receiving, and vice versa. Otherwise, the person who is in the receiving end can become very disempowered, very frustrated, and very resentful. Their self-esteem can be lowered by not being able to build up his own dignity or her own dignity by showing that they can also create spare resources, give something in return, come up to the same level, grow up, take responsibility. It's an honorable thing. When parents give too much to their children and these take this giving for granted, and they start behaving erratically or unfairly or irresponsibly, the parents may excuse their behavior by saying they're still young or whatever else. But the fact is that the youngsters may simply not acknowledge the love behind the gift and they become entitled. Returning a gift must not be done because it is expected, but because it shows the strength of integrity, a grateful heart. Other times, we find a friend or a parent or an elder who is always giving out, trying to protect the other person, only to find out that instead of gratitude, they're receiving resentment and resistance. Why? Because there was an imbalance. The giver, under the name of protecting, is crippling the other person emotionally, is not allowing the person to grow up spiritually. It is then surprising to find out that the receiver, even though they want only the gifts and accepts them, maybe harboring negative feelings, even to the point of hate. So this is because the feeling of disempowerment creates humiliation that may be caused by always being on the receiving end, literally, whether this is done out of generosity or manipulation. Being an elder provider puts the person in the strong position of authority. We forget that being a carer is actually not about power, but about love and responsibility. We are holding someone's hand until they can hold it themselves. We must allow the person we are caring for to grow into their own power and strength and back off, let go, in due course. Let them become independent. Why? Because holding on to someone's dependency or codependency on us may give us their energy and make us feel bigger than we really are. This is, energetically speaking, a reckless behavior that creates imbalance. We can call it karma. And so whatever we take from another that doesn't belong to us will be sooner or later taken back from us. So giving under the presumption of taking someone else's energy is a lie. And the way I see it, it is better that we keep a check on ourselves and make sure that whenever we give something is unconditionally. We give it and let it go. So that the energy we are running on is our own energy and is not taken or manipulated out of anyone else, our elder parents, our younger children, our weaker friends, our students, our emotionally dependent spouses, our employees, people who are in a position of lower authority or power. Because this lower status in energetic terms refers to personal power. So let's face it, sometimes we give because we try to make things easier for the other person, or we want to avoid them suffering what we have experienced. But with this, we stop them from gaining valuable life wisdom, because everybody has to learn by their own mistakes. So people have the right to make mistakes. In fact, I say we need to make mistakes, and mistakes don't exist. You learn from them. They are lessons. And yes, it is a natural and compassionate feeling to want to avoid that a loved person suffers pain of any kind. But the fact is, in spiritual terms, we prevent them from taking their full power. We must let them learn their own lessons, even if this means to learn through trial and error, with the unavoidable pain that goes with it, and even if we know better in our own life. Nobody does what we ask them to do. People do what they see us do. If we give people the freedom to make their own mistakes, we have authority, they have authority. Then we become equals, balanced energy. More specifically, as we delay another person's growth, consciously or unconsciously, because we can lie to ourselves and say, I am doing it for your own good. Really? Think about it. What are your real reasons? When resentment arises, there is power struggle. There is expression of a soul who is trying to break free from what we may be calling safety and protection. I am doing it for your own good. Remember that we don't lie to anybody. We only lie to ourselves. So why do we do this? And what can we do to avoid preventing another person from growing at their own rhythm, in their own time, with their lessons of pain and joy? That's what life is about. First of all, it's very important to be clear why something is being given. Is it a special occasion? Is it because we thought of this person and wanted to demonstrate our love through a gift? There are many valid reasons, but the point is that the utmost reason has to be clear. And after the gift has been given, the giver must step back and allow the receiver time and space to return their own gift, whatever this may be, unexpected or uninvited, and may not even be the same kind of gift. It can be something that that person can do or wants to do. This is true generosity, to give to another and to allow them to bring themselves to a level of integrity where the payback can be done in a natural and harmonious way when the time is right for them. This requires respect and faith in another, and when we do this, we are telling them that they are our equal, that although we wanted to express our special feelings through a gift, we now give them the chance to express themselves in return, but let go of the control of the process. Secondly, it's very important not to remind the receiver that a gift was given. This is manipulation and completely cancels out the good that the gift did in the first place. To remind someone of a given gift is insulting and demeaning. It is much better to make the other person earn their next gift if we feel that they didn't truly appreciate the first one. This can be translated into spiritual terms as watching another's growth through patience and quiet wisdom. Finally, it is also very important the intention of why something was given. Are we trying to obtain something in return? Are we trying to manipulate a situation? Are we doing it out of a feeling of guilt or a similar emotion? We must think about it before we give it, because it could always backfire. When giving is done out of love, letting go of the results and expectations, it comes back to us tenfold. Releasing any anxiety, worry, expectation, and even the gift itself, that letting go implies that once the gift has left our hands, it is not our responsibility any longer. And this is what giving truly means. And this is a true expression of love. Thank you for listening. See you next time.